God damn it.
We talked about Wolverine.
We talked about the new Logan trailer.
Yeah.
Like that's something that will be in a future podcast, I believe. We'll do a Logan spoiler cast, which would be kind of fun. We were talking about Halloween.
Me and you, sir, will go watch that opening night
Fucking A.
at the movie theater
Mhm.
if the missuses aren't included in that, which hopefully not.
Yeah.
Because then me and you can go for free.
Ah.
And we can watch it in 3D. If it is in 3D, I'm sure it will be. Marvel's loving that at the minute.
At the moment, there seems to be a lot of 3D in the Marvel universe.
And me and you can go and watch that a day before everybody else.
That'd be pretty cool.
And come and talk about it without
Yes.
spoiling, and then we can have the one released after the fact
Yes.
of us spoiling.
We will wait a legitimate amount of time before we release a spoiler cast on
Yeah,
Logan.
just
We
because
watched the Red Band trailer while we were waiting for the camera to recharge, and holy shit,
it looks badass.
it looks 110% badass. But before we left, we were talking about Halloween, and as I was about to say, Halloween drag queens would call Halloween amateur night, which I can tend to agree, but it's not saying that Halloween is actually it's a starting point for a lot of people in cosplay. By the way, this is a rolled cigarette, not a joint, for those of you out there that are going to be like, oh, what are they smoking pot during the podcast?
Everyone in California is
Everyone's
just loving life.
exactly. Everyone's
right
like,
now.
oh, these guys are great. Well,
Those
I hate
guys
to
can-
spoil it for you, but
those
we
guys-
live in Pennsylvania and it's not legal here yet.
They can carry an ounce.
And oh my god.
And that no one can say anything. I could walk around with an ounce in my hand,
That's funny.
and no one would say a word to me. Dude,
That's really funny.
the thing. I'm all for that. That's great, but I feel like there does have to be a limit, because otherwise the workforce is gonna feel a fucking huge impact of people not turning up.
No,
because
there's gonna be a lot of
no.
as George Carlin said, they're not going to limit limit the executives on the one martini lunch, but they will be limiting the working class man and the 2 joint coffee break.
Oh yeah, of course, man.
They
'cause
will be.
I'm sorry, but like back when I was in England, I was calling in like once a week, where I just feel like I can't go to work like this.
No, it's not possible.
You know, like
It's not possible.
people aren't gonna want to buy a sandwich from my ass right now. Like,
No, that's not. No, there's definitely going to be some regulation. Once
yeah, no,
things
they
get in.
need to figure shit out.
They do.
And I love how, like, with the testing of this shit, like, to do something as big as legalizing marijuana, which is like the #1 drug dealers, like,
That's
bottom level. Like,
That
that's
is the talking about starting things. That is how
Yeah.
that is how you break into the drug dealing culture.
Yeah, like, that's the bottom line of it. And it's like, these guys are like, they're like, well, just try this and see if it impacts the crime rate at all. Let's do it in California, where almost all the marijuana is sold anyway. Like, and just impact these people's income, who are drug dealers, and just see the heroin shit grow, like.
Yeah,
Through the
that
fucking roof.
unfortunately is what happened. But
Yeah. On a lighter note, anyway,
that's a topic for a different, completely different. I mean, different podcast in general with different people.
Yes.
With completely different people.
Yes.
Maybe we'll just wear masks or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know. Like, hide our face.
Well, perfect. We got one right here. But we were talking about Halloween and how that is Halloween is the gateway drug to getting into cosplay, because a lot of people who love costumes, but they're only in it for that holiday.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
I recently made a Fred and Wilma costume for Tiffany and I
That's awesome.
to go to a party, and it was like we knew about the party last minute, and we're like, that's one that we could maybe make, and then we did, and it worked out well. And I think that's one of the ways people can start. Like, don't go and spend the $60 a piece on kind of shitty costumes. Like,
Yeah.
not knocking places like Spirit and other costume shops that you can get. Like, Spirit of Halloween's the only one I know of because it's the only one we have here on the East Coast. But if you go to the West Coast, there's like costume shops
Party City.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Party
like
City,
that.
yeah. We have those around here too, and you can go get a halfway decent costume there, but you're gonna spend.
But that's what everyone goes as well.
Yeah,
like,
you're gonna spend like $150 on a middle of the road costume,
yeah,
where you could go and spend that $150 on materials.
Someone could turn up looking exactly like you,
Yeah.
and then you walk in at the last minute and your missus is noshing some guy, and it's like she thinks that's me in the Iron Man suit. And I gotta break this news to her.
I'm gonna go up to her and say like, "Hey, that's not me. By the way, do you have bail money?"
And now Iron Man needs to fight Iron Man,
and
which
it's
is
just
just
a
gonna
whole
like continuity at that point goes out the window.
out the window because there's only one Tony Stark.
Yeah.
I don't know where we went, how we got there, but
yeah.
perfect. But that's, I mean, really the fact that you could go spend that same amount of money, that like if you wanted to go in on a costume to buy one that's ready made, even if you spent a few $100s on it, if you spent that $150 on the supplies to make it,
you probably wouldn't need that much.
You wouldn't. You wouldn't.
But if you
spent that money, you would get much higher end materials that could be achieved from buying a box costume that you could make. And the only limitation you have then is your skill set. And the skill set in this particular vein of skills is they're all tactile techniques you can learn.
It's easily attainable too. Like you can watch videos on each individual fucking.
And trust me, we have.
Yeah, we did.
There is I watched
Evil.
Big shout out to Evil Ted. Huge shout out to you. Yeah. Huge shout out to the dudes in
that
testing.
fucking helmet wouldn't have happened at all.
No.
Not that his specific thing covered that.
No.
But without
this thing right here would not have happened if we did not know who Evil Ted Smith is.
Yeah.
Like if we did not find out that there was this dude. Exactly. And that's what we're talking about. The fact that you can go and find out what materials are available to you and what materials that maybe someone else has made the same costume out of and rework it to fit what you want the costume to be. And in the end, you're going to have this Iron Man costume or this Hedge Knight costume or or whatever it might be, how elaborate or inelaborate it might be, if that's a word.
Yeah.
It is. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Anything's a word at this point.
I'm hearing
however gnarly you want to get with it, it's going to be a costume that fits you specifically. And a costume that is going to be, you're going to be able to get in that costume far more than you would be able to any other way.
With someone like me, like if I was to go into a store and buy like if I was to go and spend like top dollar in a costume store for a Batman costume, I'm still going to look weird in it. Because the mask is going to be like hanging over my nose or, you know, like shit like that.
The
like
one-size-fits-all culture is fine for
people
who doesn't translate to, like I almost, if I want to be something, like if I want to be Iron Man, holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
If I want to dress up,
trouble.
I have to do the Mark 1 costume because it's the only one bulky enough for me to fit and actually look like he does walking out of that cave.
Yeah.
If I put together like a Mark 42 costume, you're like, why did someone inflate Iron Man?
But if you made one yourself, you'd look like the shit.
Like,
just because bigger is better on like costume scale. Like if you were to make one of them to fit you, it would just look better than somebody my size.
It's kind of a larger than life type of thing.
Because the way with the movies, it's just like you picture it way bigger than it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like
Yeah.
You in an Iron Man costume would always look better than somebody my size.
That
in an Iron Man costume. It just would.
It would definitely work, but that coming back to the making it yourself type of thing, it doesn't matter what size you are at that point. You could be the smallest person on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
You could be fucking the Big Show, or you could be Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Like,
Yeah.
you could be these enormous or slight small people. Anything in between you can make. When you make it yourself, it fits you personally, and then there's this whole other thing of it. You almost feel, if we talk about Iron Man a lot because that's one of the most popular costumes out there.
It is, yeah.
And it's one of the most impossible to make perfectly accurately unless you have a vacuum former and resin and all of this. But it's the most popular one to be made because it is like the most iconic costume. It's a costume in film.
Yeah.
It's not like something in a film where a costumer was put in charge of making him look like Gandalf.
Yeah.
Like Tony Stark made a costume so he could kick ass.
Yeah.
And you're trying to make the same. You're going through the exact same steps as Stark did.
With foam.
With foam.
Yeah.
You with foam, exactly. You don't have a Jarvis. I wish I had a Jarvis. Can we please make that happen?
I know.
It's sort of happening with the whole Amazon Echo thing.
Yeah.
And Cortana with Microsoft right now. It's sort of happening. We almost have a semi-autonomous voice.
If you tell them to go make an Iron Man costume,
they're gonna be like,
"Fuck yourself."
Yeah,
like,
or they're gonna say like, results for Amazon Iron Man costume, and like, that's where it's gonna take you. So you kind of have to be your own Jarvis in this whole.
But that's where
deal.
you want to be, right?
Yeah.